What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Majestic Madness 15. We're back at it again with another video, and this time we have another unboxing. And this time, this is a first for me. Now, I have stated in a previous video that it's not that I'm new to Android. I have been back and forth between Android for years, but growing up, I was predominantly an Apple girly. I have an old MacBook. I have an iPad. I had an iPhone. I had an Apple Watch. That's how I operated. And at a certain point around college, I just wanted something different. That was the first time I tried a Samsung phone. I had the S3. I think I want to say I had the S3, and then I had like the Note 4 because my parents had Notes and I really liked the Note. And I've just dabbled back and forth ever since, with one of the big things always moving me back to Apple was the fact that they had iMessage, and the fact that the majority, I want to say like 98% of my social circle was Apple users. So having iMessage was actually useful to me. But at a certain point, Apple wasn't doing it. They weren't innovating for me anymore. iMessage just wasn't enough to keep me there, no matter how inconvenient it was. And with RCS coming later on this year, you know, it's giving me even less of a reason to want to go back. And I haven't. At this point, I have consistently been using an Android device for over a year as my daily driver. I do have an iPhone as a work device that was given to me by my job. That was not my choice. But my daily driver has been a Samsung device for the last probably like year and a few months. And I have not wanted to look back. But I was still using an iPad Pro. I like it. I don't have any issues with it. I predominantly use it for watching content, reading content, and digital day planning. I got very big on that. So I do have a pencil, you know, I do have a folio, I have a keyboard case, which I don't like typing on it as much as I thought I would, but you know, I have one just in case I need it. But with time, I have been wanting to leave the Apple ecosystem. You know, we've already swapped the earbuds because the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro just work better for me. We've already swapped the phone. I don't really FaceTime. I don't really iMessage. So I've been seeing less and less of a reason to keep my main device being, not my main device, but I've been seeing less and less of a reason for keeping an Apple device in my ecosystem. So when I started looking into tablets and I started seeing Samsung tablets, what really caught my eye was the S9 Plus. For a hot second, I thought about getting the regular S9. That is the same size as my 11-inch iPad Pro, and this is the second generation 11-inch iPad Pro. But what I just always kept going back to the Plus model. I liked the fact that it was in some capability water resistant. Not that I plan on, you know, submerging my tablet in the bathtub, but it's nice to know that if it fell. I liked the fact that it actually came with the S Pen. It came with the stylus, so you don't have to pay an extra like $100 for this to get a stylus that works, just for Apple to create a new one and a new tablet, and then you have to get a new pen because the magnets don't match up anymore, stuff like that. You know, I liked the fact that it came with an SD card slot, because this has definitely, with how much content I put on it when I travel, this will get full up. If I don't remember to go back and delete whatever I downloaded before and it does not automatically delete itself, it will very, very easily tell me, hey, no, like you need to delete things. I've also tried to edit on this using DaVinci Resolve, and the experience of trying to get that data off of this when you're not using another Apple device was horrendous. I tried plugging in a external hard drive. It would not export onto the external hard drive. I tried putting in a thumb drive. It would not export to that. It would not export to my OneDrive, but it would export to my iCloud drive, which then I have to log into on everything. Whereas, you know, I have a Windows laptop that I typically travel with and play games on and use when I'm not home. I have a PC that I stream off of. So being able to just kind of save things into OneDrive so that I can access it anywhere is super helpful and super convenient. Only being able to put things on an iCloud drive, even though OneDrive is an option, is not. So it just started to seem like maybe because I'm moving further and further away from the Apple ecosystem with the devices that I like to use in my everyday life, because at this point I play so much Game Pass that just having a Apple laptop to take with me when I travel is just not feasible. So it just started to seem more and more like we needed to go the Android route when it was time to replace this. So I have with me here a Galaxy Tab S9 Plus that we will be unboxing. And I will say I do fund everything from this channel myself, so that means that I try to find the best deals that I can possibly find. Samsung had a lot of different sales going on if you caught them on the right day. They typically bump up the trade-in value of different items compared to what anybody else would typically give you. And then on top of that, Best Buy likes to do open box. Best Buy is probably the main place I enjoy buying my technology, and I love buying open box products simply because it's just a markdown product because it was returned. Sometimes people buy things, they don't like it, they return it. I'm sure some of these things have been bought to unbox for YouTube channels and returned, but you know, they give you the different levels of quality. And I typically go for excellent, but they'll give you the different levels of quality and tell you exactly why it's listed as something and mark it down. And sometimes Best Buy will also put their open box stuff on even bigger sale. So I got a pretty good deal on getting this open box. So this is technically opened. We won't be ripping any cute little tabs because it has been retaped, but it is in excellent condition. It comes with all the original accessories. It's factory reset. I mean, I've bought an iPad before from Best Buy that was open box good, and the only reason it was listed as good was because it was missing half the box. I think for them to list it as excellent, it has to have the original packaging, it has to have no damage, it has to, you know, have all of the original accessories, all of that. That one, perfect condition. Even still had the charger. It just came back with half the box, and it was marked down drastically. Even my laptop was listed open box. So any chance that I get, I try to buy open box stuff. It still falls under the same regular warranties that any new product you buy. So if you buy it, you don't like it, you buy it, something's wrong with it, you can still take it back. You still have the standard, I think, 15 or 30-day return. If you're an Elite Plus member, like, you have the 60-day return. Yeah, I got a good deal on a trade-in, so I do have to mail back my other iPad. So let's unbox this and get to it. Okay, so on first glance of this, I really like it. On first glance, I was expecting the Plus model to be so much bigger than my iPad. A lot of people said that they were, getting the S9 because it was a lot smaller and the Plus model was too big. But honestly, like this is not drastically big. Now, I don't think I could do an Ultra. I don't want an Ultra because at the end of the day, I still want this to have some level of portability, but it's not that much bigger than my iPad. I like the feel of it. I like the weight of it. I'm excited to really kind of get in and see how the S Pen is going to work. I'm really excited because the PDF annotator, if you don't know, for the most part, when it comes to digital day planning, you're just using hyperlinked PDFs. And the application that's been super big on Apple is GoodNotes. They finally added GoodNotes to the Android store, but you can only get it on certain tablets or certain size tablets, I will say. It is pre-installed on all Galaxy devices, so I'm really excited to see how that's going to work. Am I going to be able to continue digital day planning the way that I do, or am I going to have to find another app? Because that is really important to me. I know it's just one functionality of this tablet, but it is the biggest thing that I use my iPad for. So being able to continue that is super important, because at the point that I can't, this is just a media device, and there's really at this point there's not much of a reason to have to upgrade to it if that's all it's going to turn into. But I'm really excited. I can already tell the screen looks really nice, so consuming content looks like it's going to be good. We'll have to do some comparisons with that to the iPad. I'm also excited to game on it. Like I said, I play a lot of games on Game Pass. It has become my favorite way of gaming because it is just so convenient. I do a lot of dog sitting. I do a fair amount of traveling, which just takes me away from home and it takes me away from my main consoles. So whenever I can take a game fully with me and I don't have to worry about actually picking up a console and taking it with me, that makes my life significantly easier. So I'm looking forward to seeing how gaming is on there. I have seen some reviews where people have been playing Game Pass on it. I realized I never really tried to play Game Pass on my iPad. I immediately just go towards playing it on my laptop. So we'll have to see how that works. I'm not much of a Samsung DeX user. I've never actually used it on any of the Samsung phones I've had, but it might be a good time to kind of try that out, see how that works, see what we like about it. Another thing I did see that I'm looking forward to using is you can use it as a second monitor, which I often take a portable monitor with me. Sometimes I use the portable monitor when I'm at work. Sometimes I use it when I'm dog sitting. My favorite thing to do is in the instances that I do take a console with me, I will use the portable monitor instead of plugging into a TV, because sometimes people just don't have the best hookups. But if I can either extend work when I'm in the office onto here, or extend work onto here when I'm editing off of my laptop, or just instead of using my laptop for gaming, strictly use this and an Xbox controller, just in general will make my life so much easier. You do not understand how I look sometimes when I'm trying to get things done. Sometimes I'm sitting there with 3 different screens, depending on if I'm editing, if I'm working, if I'm playing games and I'm watching something. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this fits into my everyday usage. Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit into my life the way that my iPad is? Is it going to make it better? Or is this something that I'm just going to decide this is not the right time for? If you are looking forward to a full review of this tablet, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Leave me a comment if you have one of these and you love it, if you replaced an iPad with it, if you digital day plan and you have any recommendations for PDF apps. If you read on it, what applications do you use to read? I think that's going to be kind of the hardest part a lot of apps are just tailored more towards Apple devices. And Samsung has been getting, not even Samsung, but Android has been getting better. They have been getting more apps. You know, LumaFusion is on here now. GoodNotes is on here now. But it does make it easier when you have the application just already installed. You know, Apple just already has Apple Books. And I don't know what I'm going to use to read just yet because there is no Samsung Books. I think there's a Google Books, but I don't know if that still works. I don't know if Kindle will let you like use EPUBs. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting like next like week or two. I have until the 23rd to send my iPad back. So I pretty much have until the 23rd to make my final decision of, am I keeping this tablet, or is it just going to be easier for me to stick with my iPad until I just find what works for me better. But first impressions, I love it. I want to keep it, but I got to make sure it sticks in my life. So if you have any recommendations, if you have any comments, if you want to see my final thoughts and how this journey is going to go over the next 2 weeks, please subscribe to this channel, leave me a comment down below, like this video, and I will catch you guys at the next one.